Hey, it's Basement Tapes number 319. Welcome back, everybody. It's been a minute, and that's because stuff gets in the way of recording these things, and I'll probably discuss that in an episode or two. Nothing crazy, just a logical explanation as to why we're all here, and that is cards, 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 and some of the stuff beyond cards. Or attached to and associated with cards. So anyway, let's get back to this whole thing here. 1978 Topps baseball set. This is a set which I believe I featured in my 70s card history in the back. Way there, a deeper dive, perhaps. It is interesting set to me in that I've thought for much of my life that it was a rather mundane and bland set. Yet there's a lot of people that really dig this set. So that's a curiosity and a fascination, and I guess a tribute to this set as well, because maybe it doesn't trigger the emotions in myself, but other people look to it as a sneaky, sleepy favorite of the decade of the 70s. So I've got the entire set. It says here 726 cards I have. I know there's a few minor variations. Uh, and interestingly enough, again, part of, I guess, I don't know, the part of why I guess it doesn't, or maybe it's an effect of the fact that I don't have a lot of emotion with this set, is that I've had this set, I assume, in its completion for a very, very long time. I don't remember completing it. I just know that I have a complete set. There's some sets like 76 Tops where I know where I bought the entire set to replace my childhood beaters. That was at the 1991 National. I know the 80 Top set and the 79 Top set. Vividly recall collecting those out of packs. This 78, it's been there. It's been there throughout, or as long as I can remember. So I find that to be kind of fascinating there as well. So it says 726 in my collection. Says on Beckett that there's 727. Again, I know there's a recognized error or two. Average value $1.15, total value $836.10, 250 to $600 according to Beckett OPG for a complete set of these. So, with that said, if you're going to publish that stuff, Beckett, I'm going to say it. So it may make Beckett look up to date. It may make them look out of date or obsolete, but it's published, so it might as well be said. According to me, I just made that up. The cards in this 726 card set measure 2.5 by 3.5. As in previous years, the set was issued in many different ways. Some of them include 14-cent wax packs, 30 card supermarket packs, which came 48 to a case and had an SRP of 20 cents, and 39 card rack packs. The 1978 Top set experienced an increase in number of cards from the previous 5 regular issues of 660. Cards numbers 1 through 7 feature record breakers, RBs, of the 1977 season. Other subsets within this set include league leaders. Let me write this down. 201 through 208. Postseason cards 413 or 411 through 413, and rookie prospects 701 to 711. The key rookie cards in this set are a multiplayer rookie card of Paul Molitor and Alan Trammell, Jack Morris and Eddie Murray, Lance Parrish, and Lou Whitaker. Many of the Molitor Trammell cards are found with black printing smudges. The manager cards in this set feature a then and now format on the card front showing the manager as he looked during his playing days. No scarcities exist. 66 of the cards were more abundant in supply as they were double printed. These 66 double printed cards are noted in the checklist as DP. Now, if you do 660, the previous high or the previous standard for Tops, and add 66, you'll come up with 726 cards, I believe. Fun fact. Cards number 23 or lower that feature Astros, Rangers, Tigers, or Yankees and do not follow the numbering checklist below are not necessarily error cards. They are undoubtedly Burger King cards, separate sets with their own pitching, pricing, and mass distribution. The Bump Wills card has been seen with either no black mark or a major black mark on the front of the card. We will continue to investigate this card and see whether or not it should be considered a variation. So I'm not sure if that's considered a cold case at this point, but there's certainly some investigation going on, or at least there is a file on this matter in Beckett headquarters down there in Dallas. 88 rookie cards. Let's look at the top 3 in this. It's got to be Eddie Murray, right? Got to be Eddie Murray. Perhaps some of the other rookies. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. The Magic Machine says Eddie Murray, followed by the Molitor Trammell. That includes Mickey Klutz, by the way, and UL Washington, he of the toothpick. And card number 3 is Lou Whitaker's rookie card. So that's kind of interesting. Lou Whitaker is not in the Hall of Fame, yet he ranks number 3 in this set. But maybe that's Sam Perlazzo, Dave Oliver, or the beloved Garth Orge rookie card there. Yes, I'm a child of the 70s. I can pronounce Garth Orge and name his brother Dane Orge, which is kind of a unique skill, perhaps, in this hobby. IORG Orge. Don't ask me why, how, or when that came into my brain, but it's there, and it's been there for 40 plus years. Let's go to TCDB. The teams depicted in this set are the Braves, Orioles, Red Sox, Angels, Cubs, White Sox, Reds, Indians, Tigers, Astros, Royals, Dodgers, Brewers, Twins, Expos, Mets, Yankees, Athletics, Phillies, Pirates, Padres, Giants, Mariners, Cardinals, Rangers, and the Blue Jays. Errors and variations. We talked about Bump Wills 23A. Let's look at that. There is that mark. Looks like a Sharpie. I don't know what PSA would give that. PSA DNA. Probably a 7 on the autograph world there, but perhaps someone would confuse that for a Sharpie mark. The next card would be its non-black marker variation, or standard, I guess, is what the better way to say that. Jerry Morales, here's an interesting one and a tried and true variation. He's got some pink laces. They call them red. I call them pink laces on the baseball where his position is depicted, and he's got some black ones. So keep an eye out for that if you're looking to build a master set. Sneaky little variation there for one that has no explanation. I'm still, folks, it's beyond my tiny little brain to understand why it would be red for so very long and then black. I know, printer plates and all that stuff, but it's just very interesting to me how that would happen in the 70s. Hall of Famers, there are 55 of them. Record breakers, rookies, base cards, rookie base cards by themselves, rookie base cards with 3 others or 2 others. In the case of Trammell and Molitor, strikeouts, leaders, victory leaders, home run leaders, postseason stuff, all sorts of fun little manager cards. They're all in there, and the Hall of Famers abound in this set. Rookies, 85, says TCDB. And who am I to argue between 88 and 85? We'll let people with more resources do that and not have me do it. Inserts and relates. Team checklists could be redeemed for a mail-in offer. Different kind of setup, all that fun stuff. You get a sheet of cards. Again, I've said I've got some of that 76 team cards over there, which I find absolutely adorable. Topps Vault sold some of these printing plates back in the 2010s-ish, I guess. So you could buy those. And again, printing plates aren't one of ones, folks. Printing plates were multiple printing plates were used because they would wear out. Hence the reason Jerry Morales has red laces or black laces on his balls. Let's look at the packaging. The packaging, nice red box there, all sorts of action there. Topps Curved T appears on top of a former Baltimore Orioles player's helmet, or current, I don't know, but it's an Orioles player with the Topps Curved T, obviously, and then there it looks like a Reds player in the background with another form of Topps. So red, the Reds were winning in the mid 70s, and everything seemed to be red. There, it's a box of rack packs or box of wax boxes or rack boxes or something. Anyways, it's 3 boxes, 24 counts. It's all wrapped up in cellophane and under the auspices, the pretend make-believe auspices that everything in there is as it was when it came out of the factory. There are some cello boxes there, a couple cello boxes, beautiful cello packs there depicting wonderful uniforms back in the day, stadiums, all there. There's Steve. He's from Mars. He's on the top of a cello pack. There's the wax paxes. You can get a red wax pack and with a curved T Tops logo right there. Major League Baseball cards, one stick of bubble gum, Tops chewing gum, Duryea, PA, 18642, made and printed in the USA. We still have dextrose, we have corn syrup, we have gum-based softeners, natural and artificial flavors, artificial colors, and BHT to maintain freshness. There is the Card Killer, Topps Super Sports Card Locker. Bend your cards beyond belief. And by jamming them in there and letting them become a different shape than they once were. You could get the 2016 checklist cards on one redemption by sending off the box 4700 Westbury, New York 11592. 50 cents plus a boatload of wrappers, I'm sure. There's your 3 20-cent packs for whatever your retailer wanted to mark them up as. Anyway, 3 wax packs together. Again, the checklist. There's a smooth and juicy. It's the softest and juiciest bubblegum ever. Bubblegum in original and luscious cherry flavors. So there was a discovery back in the 70s which just changed bubblegum. You could bite into this little 3-dimensional square or whatever it's called, and fluid would jump out into your tongue, and minty, luscious, whatever it was, luscious cherry. You could have all sorts of flavors just burst in your mouth and get a rush, unlike any other known to mankind up to that point. I'm not sure if the parents knew what was going on inside of our mouths, but man, it was spectacular. Fireworks kind of reminds me of the Brady Bunch episode when Bobby Brady had his first kiss, where fireworks went off. That's what it was when you bit into a piece of smooth and juicy, sorry about that, smooth and juicy bubble gum way back in the day. Let's see here. There is one of those fancy boxes, again wrapped in cellophane. There is the 3x20 box, 20 packs, 3 20-cent packs. It's all right there. There's a rack pack. Topps Sports Picture cards, 39 cards, 59 cents. This is the point where you're starting to get ripped off and wondering. I used to get more cards than had pennies that I had to pay, but now it's way, way beyond that. So anyway, enough about politics. Let's get over to trivia or comments. Comments, man. You know it's the 70s when a boatload of people are commenting on TCDB. eRusher71 says, first pack I ever opened was from the Ben Franklin dime store that my mother worked at. Rod Carew was the best card out of that pack. This set is one of my all-time favorites because of all the Tiger rookies, Morris, Parrish, Whitaker, and Trammell, who became the base of the 1984 World Series champions. Round the Diamond 87, he is a senior member of this TCDB commenting clan. Just an all-time classic set design and lineup. Sutton 1 says, great set. My brother bought me my first pack. He had returned from the Marines and took me to the store to get ice cream. I seen the cards, and he told me to get them. What drew me, that's Drew with a capital D, to them was Don Sutton on the front, same as my last name. Have been collecting ever since. BPO Day says, or BPO Day says, I may have bought a pack of cards from 76 or 77, but this is the set I clearly remember buying where I fell in love with baseball cards. To this day, the 1978 Garvey card is my absolute favorite card of my favorite player. The All-Star emblem used in this set is amazing. Well, we're not friends, Bepo Day, and unless you're using that Garvey as a fertility idol, then we have nothing in common and nothing to talk about. Aces and Eights says, first pack of cards ever bought from me and opened by me, June 1978. I was 8 years old. Going Deep with an E says, this was the first pack of cards I ever opened in the summer of 1978. I was 9 years old, have been hooked since. E Green, whoa. tells us this is where it all started for me, 20 cents to 25 cents per pack. It is funny, all these years later, I still know a number of the player names by sight. This is my favorite set, and number 200, Reggie Jackson, is one of my all-time favorite cards. Kudos to you, E. Green Woe. Jeffrey M. George, this was the new set when I first started buying cards in 5th grade. I already had a hodgepodge collection of cards from 65 to 75, mostly 74s, including the Winfield rookie card. I don't remember where they came from. I just remember them being there. My collecting period was rather short-lived. The last set I actively bought was 1982. By then, I was becoming too cool for baseball cards and was preoccupied by other things like girls' parties and the Grateful Dead. I still love looking at these cards from my youth. I think my long-term goal may be to attempt to complete the 78-82 Topps, Fleer, and Donruss just for the nostalgia factor. So good luck to you, JMG. Moving up here, Birch John says, this was the set for my birth year. When I started collecting around 1987, I worked on trying to collect the entire set. I remember the days when the Lance Parrish rookie card was more valuable than the Trammell Molitor rookie, the Morris rookie, the Whitaker rookie, and rivaled the Murray rookie as the top card in the set. There's a whole generation out there that doesn't understand how important Lance Parrish was for about 3 or 4 years. I'm just saying that, folks. As a Tigers fan, this was a great set. I also remember as a kid asking my grandmother to purchase baseball cards for Christmas. I can only pray now that she was not ripped off going to a card shop, not knowing what she was doing and finding the Parrish rookie, the Trammell rookie, and other specific cards I asked for. By the way, she just celebrated her 102nd birthday. That was 4 years ago. I assume the situation's changed. Finally, this was the set I picked up a few years ago when I got back into the hobby after taking 20 years off. Through the purchasing of many lots of cards, I completed the set a few years ago. So congrats to you on that. T. Greer tells us this was the year I opened my first pack. I remember going to the local store and seeing a box of baseball cards and not knowing what it was. So I paid my 25 cents for a pack. I opened them, and in an instant, I was hooked. I really loved playing baseball, and this gave me a way to connect with pro players of the day. My friends and I would get together on Saturday and spread out all the cards we had and start trading and telling stories of why each of our guy was the best player in baseball. It was a great time being a kid. So that should be blown up and hung in the halls of the Nationals next year. That's what card collecting means to me. Enjoying the cards and the players attached to the cards, and not the stupidity of the value. First, foremost, and solely based on that premise. So, sorry, I'm getting very political here. Desert Wook says, pretty sure the first pack of baseball cards I opened was from this set. Best in BB cards says that my first pack of baseball cards, first of many. There's a smile face emoji attached there. Airhead 05, my first pack of cards. I can't remember who I pulled, but I'm sure it was epic. Sailor Chris tells us I just bought a lot of 1978 Topps and found quite a few, over 20, of number 303, Larry Sorensen of the Milwaukee Brewers. If anybody needs his card, give me a holler, Sailor Chris. Composer Mike tells us Composer Mike tells us these are the first sports cards I started collecting. Rack packs were just 60 cents at the corner pharmacy. So I think he was buying the 3 by 20-cent packs. We know the rack packs were 59 cents there, Composer Mike. Rick Banovich, technicality, I know. These are the very first packs I ever purchased when I was 10 years old, probably around 60 to 70 cents a pack. He's high as a kite by saying that. Seemed like they had a ton of cards in each pack in the day, 30-ish. I still have every card and stickers I purchased back then. So Rick is a casual, and there's nothing wrong with that. I apologize, Rick. I erupted at you, got you a little red mist there. Perhaps they were 60 to 70 cent rack packs, or 3 by 20-cent packs, or Zella packs, whatever. So apologies, and I hope you accept them on your own terms. Dewey in the Hall, first set for me as well, but my first cards didn't come from a pack. The Kids Magazine Dynamite included 6-card uncut panels each spring for a few years. And in the spring of 1978, 4th grade, I got Tony Perez, Darrell Porter, Al Oliver, and Cecil Cooper. My luck, my 6 included 2 from the DP row. So I got 2 each of Cooper and Perez. Maybe a week. That's a lot of A's there. And one sentence. Maybe a week later, I got my first pack, a wax pack, and I could still recall some of the cards. Rick Manning, Jose Baez, George Hendrick, Sparky Lau, RB, and Louis Tiant. That's the record breaker, by the way, that RB. Love this set. So that's the folks chiming in there on TCDB comment section. Sell sheets and advertising. Let's see that. 1978 Topps Baseball. Boy, what do you have there? You have Reggie and Bump Wills, maybe, and Steve Carlton. You got a gentleman that looks like Greg Minton batting, but I don't know who that is. Maybe I don't know who that is, but Tim McCarver's catching. Joe Morgan and perhaps a Bucky Dent there pictured as well. Superstar season, like the players they idolize. Millions of youngsters are gearing up for another exciting season of Major League Baseball. And that means the beginning of another super selling season for Topps Baseball picture cards. Selling right on through the summer months. That is italicized as well as an exclamation point on the end of that. So be sure you're ready for the counteraction in quotes by keeping plenty of Topps 1978 baseball cards in stock. 30-cent bubblegum picture cards, 24 per display box, Topps number 372-78. So pushing hard on those packs of cards. There is a same ad, a little bit different graphic there at the bottom, and some more T's and C's and fine prints. Let's go to trivia. 66 cards are double printed due to the number of cards made available on printing sheets. On the back, some cards have one of several baseball at-bat situations, making it possible to play a game once enough cards were amassed. I am never, ever a proponent of wasting the backs of cards on silly little theoretical games you could play. Probably because I didn't play cards with anybody. I was a bit of a loner. So it did not. I never said to myself, hey, let's play a game of baseball with cards, bro. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of that real estate being chewed up with that, but I get it. It's for the kids, right? Milwaukee does not have a manager card in this set. George Bamberger was hired in late January 1978. Too late to be included. Number 10, Richie Zisk. We kind of talked about this with OPG, number 110. The 1977 All-Star Game starter, Richie Zisk, is missing the AL All-Star outfield designation on his 110 card. Number 5, Fofo, Lenny Randle. Lenny Randle card was photographed at Shea Stadium on July 1st, 1977, in either the third or fourth inning. Gene Richards is the first baseman. He was picked off at the third, and judging by this expression, this may be the play. Well, first of all, I got this wrong in the OPG basement tapes. Gene Richards was playing first base. Lenny Randle was sliding back into first base. So not quite sure what I did there, but that's what's happening there. Perhaps Lenny Randle was picked off later and third base, but this was not that instance. And Lenny Randle, by the way, my favorite baseball brawler. Perhaps the greatest bunt in baseball history as well. Look up, just Google Randle brawl, and the mayhem will ensue after that. Let's get to the gallery. There's the record breakers, 1 through 6, 1 through 8, whatever it is. But we have Sparky Lyle, Willie McCovey, Brooks Robinson, Pete Rose, Nolan Ryan, and Reggie Jackson. Before we get to the commoners, look at old Phil Negro wearing his big old windbreaker out there in Candlestick Park, which if ever there was a reason to have a windbreaker on in a baseball situation, Candlestick Park was a perfect excuse. Look at that wonderful Marlboro sign in the back there. You can't get away with that in the 80s and 90s or the 90s, right? Look at that wonderful AstroTurf. Looks like it's ready to chop your knees up and end your career at any given moment. So I look for stuff in cards that maybe isn't the obvious, and I think a lot of people like me do. They'd like to look at some of that extracurricular activity in the background. This is obviously pregame warm-up. Phil Negro is just back from the Olive Garden because it looks like early afternoon and perhaps ready for a nap. He probably only pitched 10 a.m. games before he called it a day. Dude was like 100 years old when this was taken, right? At this point, he's 39, but he looks like he's 79. Let's just jam over to 7. Look at that Thurman Munson card. Boy, Yankee Stadium. It's hot probably. Thurman still has his long sleeve shirts on because you had to protect yourself as a catcher. Little tiny chest protector, little tiny face mask there with no little throat protection or anything like that. Larvell Blanks rocking a wonderful Cleveland uniform there. There's Jim Barr. He is in Candlestick Park. There's Zimmer. He was the manager of the 78, the ill-fated 78 Boston Red Sox. And Pedro Martinez finally put him in his place for the damage he did in that 1978 year. Zim had a long baseball career, 11, 12 years there, 54 to 65 with the Dodgers, Cubs, Mets, Reds, Dodgers again, and the Senators. So, yeah, banged out a total of, oddly enough, he banged out a lot of home runs, 91 home runs for a guy who was only 5'9". Gene Pence, everybody remembers Gene Pence, he says facetiously. Ken Singleton, he was a solid player in the 70s. There's the White Sox for you, of course, posed in front of a fence. I can't imagine what it is, but I guess it's Comiskey Park. It just looks like some padded fence that from some other place that isn't Comiskey, but maybe it is. Claudel Washington at Oakland Coliseum. All the fun stuff. Great cards there. George Brett, look at that all-star designation, a blue, white, and red shield, AL all-star third baseman. Sid Manji, Matt Alexander. The hits keep coming in this set. Bill Plummer, Ed Halecki, all that stuff. Let's see if we can find a nice player to talk about who's got a good bio in the back. Jeff Burrows. Not enough people talk about Jeff Burrows. Probably a good reason for that. He's with the Braves. White border with a little pink piping around that. It says Braves. Jeff Burrows. Jeff Burrows is wearing the most beautiful Braves uniform, or maybe the second most beautiful Braves uniform of all time. Just think that's gorgeous. Card number 130, 6'2", weight 193, bats right, throws right. Drafted by the Senators and number 1 in June of 1969. Acquired in a trade with Rangers, 12/9/76. Born 3/7/51. Long Beach, California. Home, Long Beach, California. There's the silly game there on the white right side. Play ball, played by 2, fly out, whatever. Copyright 1978 Topps Chewing Gum Inc., printed in USA. Complete Major League batting record is listed on the back there. And, of course, he won an MVP in 1973 for the lowly 73? Yeah, I guess he was. For the lowly Texas Rangers. One of Jeff's most dramatic hits of the 1977 was a three-run homer in ninth inning in Atlanta, June 12th, giving Braves a 5-3 victory over the Phillies. So not a lot talked about. MVP again in 74 or 73. Gosh, it's got to be 74. Batted 301, 118. 73 MVP was Reggie Jackson. Oh, boy, I think it's Reggie. Anyway, Burt Blyleven's in the Hall of Fame. He's right there behind Jeff Burrows in the sequence of the 78 Topps. There's Lou Brock. Look at those stats. No room for a biography. Just straight up stats. And interesting that it doesn't depict what he's most famous for, and that's stolen bases. But all sorts of great stuff on there. Jerry Morales right there. Who's the guy? Who's the other Morales? I screwed that up. Somebody on the Expos with the error, right? I screwed that up. Dave Chalk, great name there. Dick Tidrow, part of the Bronx Zoo. Look at Jose Cardinal, still struggling to put a ball cap on every day. He's maybe the most airbrushed athlete in Topps history. Maybe I'm wrong. I just made that up. But I just remember he's had a lot of airbrushing. Had a Topps traded card in 1972, which was a rare feat. But his hair was always present and accounted for. Earl Weaver did not have a major league career, I believe, but all his minor league totals are listed there, including West Frankfort, St. Joseph, Winston-Salem, Houston, Omaha, Denver, New Orleans, something Knoxville. Oh, Montana and Knoxville. Fitzgerald, Dublin, Aberdeen, Fox Cities, and Elmira. So this dude went everywhere and played everywhere. Alan Bannister, look at that beautiful White Sox get up going on there. There's the Angels. They're in California, living the dream in the 70s. Darrell Evans, a great in-action shot there. Mike Paxton, a great, looks like he's got a chef's hat on, and somebody decided to airbrush some Boston Red Sox logos. So great set. Again, I've run over this before, I think, in a deeper dive, and I don't want to bore too many people too much longer. And that's that. That's the Basement Tapes 319. We've gone on. We've droned on. Hopefully you're asleep by now, and the episode will be over by the time everybody awakes. So thanks again, folks. 319, John Keating, Basement Tapes. Keep on keeping on.